Well, our next guest is here to talk about some cutting-edge research about how to achieve success and happiness. First up, you need a list. With me now to explain is Caroline Adams Miller. She's the author of Creating Your Best Life. And thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
You know, when you talk about losing weight, everyone says if you write down what you eat, keep a list, that helps keep you on task.
Right.
How does that help me in success in my overall life?
Anything that you monitor in a written way or monitor closely on a computer tends to be something that you succeed at. So it's been found over and over that writing down your goals and monitoring them and checking in on them with measurable feedback has been found to produce extraordinary success. And there is a real science behind goal accomplishment, and I'm boggled that my book is the first one in the bookstores that has research in it.
Now, what do you mean by there's real science? Because it's the science of goal setting and the psychology of positive thinking, I guess, right?
Well, I was one of the first people in the world to get a master's degree at the University of Pennsylvania, and I got it in 2006. And while I was there, I found that the science of goal accomplishment intersected beautifully with the science of being a happy person, because happy people believe they can accomplish the goals they set for themselves. So my capstone project that year was on how do these two come together, and how can I help my clients as a coach not only design the appropriate goals for their lives, but also achieve them. And so I wrote that, my capstone project, and then the head of Sterling Publishing saw me interview in the New York Times and said, hey, can you turn it into a book? And so I spent all of last year writing on extraordinary deadline this book, Creating Your Best Life, and it's the first book ever on the science of goal accomplishment that actually has more than a magical approach to accomplishing your goals. So people who get this book, which I'm talking about at Barnes & Noble tonight, will not only understand why happiness matters to goal accomplishment, they'll understand in a really practical way how to actually make anything happen.
With the goal, we all set some sort of goals. This book will help me pick the right goal for me, because maybe I've picked the wrong goal.
You would be so surprised to find out how many people are walking around with what's called extrinsic goals, goals that are not actually goals that they set for themselves or that are important to them or value laden to them. An awful lot of people are walking around with what I call should goals. You know, they should lose weight, they should go after a certain job, they should get a PhD, and the research shows that if you pursue goals like that, you actually will not achieve them. And you will not be happy in the pursuit of those goals.
So how should I change the phrasing of that goal? If you need to lose weight, you should lose weight, then what do I say to have a goal that works?
Well, there are a lot of different ways to approach this. We probably can't,
get into
you know,
it. Sure.
But it's important that you ask yourself, what is it I want to leave behind as my legacy? What are the things I really want to do with my life? So I have in the book a lot of worksheets, including one called The Portraits of Grief. You know, when after 9/11, the New York Times had a little paragraph about everyone who died, and it was the essence of that person. And I asked people to really think about, what is the essence that you're leaving behind? What are the things that matter to you? And you'd be surprised how many people burst into tears on the phone with me and say, no one has ever asked them that question. And because this is Mother's Day week, I want to point out that happiness for women follows a U shape, and women bottom out for the most part at the age of 44. And it's because, and this is a major piece of research that came out about a year ago, it's because most women do not pursue the goals that matter to them. They're busy supporting their children or supporting their husband or other people, or they were told early on, it doesn't matter what your goals are. This really isn't a society. You're a woman. Exactly. So one of the things you can do to age with well-being is to identify the goals that are important to you, and then to create accountability. You have to have accountability to go after your goals. Otherwise, you're basically talking into the wind.
Have less than 30 seconds. You also say it's important to surround yourself, the circle around you.
The social contagion theory is powerful, and what it says is the people who are closest to you, the people you value the most in your social circle, they are the biggest predictor of who you will become. So take a hard look at who gets your time and who gets your ear. So be very thoughtful about it. To me, that's the most understudied portion of why people don't accomplish their goals.
She has the research backing her up, and you can get in the circle of listening to her. Tonight, Caroline Adams Miller has a book signing at 7 p.m. at the Barnes & Noble on Rockville Pike. We'll be right back. Stay with us. It's 9:34.